There are times when Bungie tries to create something unbeatable with less than a full fire team. And by times, at this point I might as well say the one time with Spire of Stars where you needed 5 players to even begin the encounter. The Destiny community and the solo challenges they have tested have been nothing short of outstanding. Combine the knowledge of builds with the Slayer potential of 6 players in one, and you have a lore-accurate Shaxx. Now, Shaxx happens to be commentating on the event that one player has just completely soloed. So for today, we are diving right back into solo challenges the way we did with Legend Onslaught, the activity that Bungie said couldn't be soloed. And this time, we are stepping it up a notch. This time, the Destiny community soloed the raid boss gauntlet known as the Pantheon. I cover community stories on top of my other types of content a lot. So if there's one you guys want to see in any game, please feel free to shoot me a comment. And if you are new here, like the video and subscribe, as it's the best way to show me that you guys really like these videos. For this video, I will assume you know how to do the normal encounters, but even if you don't, I will try my very best to break them down. You might sit there and ask, well, Evan, how is solo Pantheon even possible? Can I do this myself to avoid these tough groups that keep kicking me out of my LFG? Will soloing a raid boss save my marriage? Well, I can answer that first one for you, pal. The solos each have their own crazy story, though. First off, let's talk about our big friend named Golgoroth. This big cuddle bear was first soloed closer to the Taken King's release, with Void Titans and a lot of buff stacking. This involved things like tractor cannon, 1-2 punch, and shield bashing. You would see just chunks fall off of the boss. And truthfully, this method wasn't too far away from the modern day DPS. If you've kept up with Destiny, you know that the Banner of War is so horrendously unbalanced when used effectively. The main characteristics have to do with buff stacking and the sheer amount of damage a post-grapple melee does to a boss. For all of these kills, there is some combination of Worm God Caress melee stack buffing with 1-2 punch shotgun buff, on top of the Banner of War increasing melee damage while healing, then use a tractor cannon for a debuff. See, even all of this, while strong, wouldn't be busted if it weren't for loadout swapping and an exotic trace rifle called Navigator. See, loadout swapping allows for full builds to be equipped on the fly to help whatever scenario you're in. It is a great system that has only raised the skill ceiling of the player base, and for these boss solos, it's almost necessary to hit damage quick in the time window. Navigator creates a grapple point that doesn't go away in its alternate firing mode. Using this with everything we went over allows for massive post-grapple damage, because you can just keep proccing it with Navigator. Now that you know the main damage path for most of the solos, it's important to talk about each of the boss kills. So I asked 3 legends in the community about the solos themselves. Bog on My Dog, who has been a part of solo video stories since Solo Nezarec, a player named Melito, who was actually the first to solo one of the bosses in the Pantheon named Explicator, and Snazzy Rock, who was the very first person to solo Nezarec, and at this point should go hand in hand with solos themselves. They worked with so many others that I'm sure I just don't know about to knock out this unreal challenge. So, let's begin. Now, Golgoroth, it's not very much a different method. And I asked Snazzy about it, and he simply said,
Golgoroth is probably the most simple out of all changes in the Pantheon, and that is just due to the adds in the encounter being a lot more tankier and annoying compared to the normal version of this solo. This solo is very simple. It's just kill all adds up until the second set of thralls spawn, and then you save those thrall while killing the remaining acolytes and ogres until the orb for the damage phase spawn. Since we're solo, we don't take the gaze. Instead, we drop the orb once, go to town with Banner of War grapple melees for that orb, then rinse and repeat until he's dead. This is a pretty simple solo outside of the fact that when you grapple Golgi, you're unraveling him, and that can tend to take his gaze, which will result in an instant wipe due to not being able to transfer the gaze to people and prevent the tablet from filling up. The build for Golgoroth is very simple. I just use a Sunshot and a 1-2 punch shotgun to help clear adds, and then I swap to Navigator and a Fusion Rifle, make the Navigator point and take the orb down. Then I went to Tractor Cannon and 1-2 punch for the damage phase.
Go!
No!
With that, Golgoroth was defeated, and it was time for the boss that Snazzy described as the hardest out of all of the solos, Caretaker. Has this ever happened to you? 1 second you're putting down a 20-foot tall possessed zombie raid boss by yourself using specific tech in Destiny 2, then all of a sudden your internet turns into a pony and boots you out. Well, you're in luck, partner. NordVPN has found me to tell you a way to stop that pesky pony problem. With threat protection to ensure those error codes stay away from you, dark web monitoring, which will continuously scan discovered hacker hangouts and immediately alert you if any details are up for sale. Those ponies will never know what hit them. There are so many benefits of NordVPN as well. They don't track or share what you do online, your traffic is always encrypted, and you can turn on kill switch mode to ensure that your data is never exposed. You can save your error codes and get an exclusive NordVPN deal with 4 months extra with the link down below. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee, so thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video and getting rid of the error code problems. If you're wondering why Snazzy is using Mountaintop in this footage, it's actually really cool. See, Mountaintop is a projectile-based weapon, meaning its grenade counts as a hit on contact. That's simple, right? Well, this also opens the door that would normally close a mere seconds after opening it once, normally requiring 2 players to open the door for each other. But with the sticky grenades Mountaintop can roll with, the projectile stays long enough to blow up to conveniently let him out after picking up 3 symbols. This single roll on a single grenade launcher makes this challenge go from impossible to near impossible. See, that's not where it ends, as Snazzy would soon find out on his journey to become first in the world. You not only have the enemies ruining your life,
He pre-fired me! He pre-fired me! No way! He pre-fired me!
and you not only have the new ogres added with Pantheon,
Dude, the ogre's a fat piece of shit! Fuck the ogre!
but you also have the bees, which are a name for the dark projectiles, stacking your pervading darkness stacks on hits.
No, the bees! The bees chased me out the room!
Then the bees in the room itself, which is just new to Pantheon.
Woo! There's a bee!
Then you just had the weird stuff that you can't even make up.
Nah, dude, that's f***ing insane. Nah, bro, nah. Bro, I grappled a piece of glimmer.
Ultimately, the new method, while complicated in writing, was chaotic in execution. You needed an eager-edged sword with perfect pathing to avoid bees, and your own life from expiring to the darkness. Then you needed to loadout swap to be ready for damage in time. Remember, you are not stunning. You are not slowing the Caretaker down at all. You are praying the ads don't shoot the totem into extinction, all while juggling and remembering the symbols, and praying they are in a good position to shoot them for the totem to accept your offering. Then, you need to swap out loadouts for the 1-2 punch banner of war damage. Snazzy told me,
I ended up using 9 different loadouts for this encounter due to so many things I needed to be on top of. Running symbols, killing the ads, hitting perfect damage with 1-2 punch, even going down to using Heart of Endless Light just to proc ability regen and then swap the sword to benefit from that regen.
Snazzy is an insane player, and he would get closer.
Come on, man!
And closer.
Oh, dude! My nose! No! No, dude! No! No, bro, my sack is on fire, bro! No.
Sometimes getting to the end.
Oh, wait, I just swapped the wrong loadout. There's no way. There's no way I just did that, bro. There's no way I just did that, bro. No, man. No, dude. That would have been a f***ing kill, bro. I'm gonna
And again, Caretaker just kept getting the best of him. But in the end, Snazzy pulled off the God Run.
Please, dude, please. Please, dude, please. I have a heavy brick, bro, please. Allah, bro, inshallah, ma, dude, whatever Melito says, man, please, bro. My hands are already numb, bro. This is not good. Oh, calm down, bro. It's okay. You got this. Come on, dude, please. I had so many final stand wipes that just looked nearly impossible. The final stand was so insanely hard due to the Caretaker shooting the entire beehive at you, especially when you get on the second and third play. In my clear of this, I got a run sent from the gods. Caretaker just stood there doing absolutely nothing besides the small armies of bees that he would send on second and third play. Out of all the time I've spent in Caretaker, basically since Val came out, I've never ever seen Caretaker just stand there and final stand like that. So this was truly a run sent from the gods. Caretaker took me roughly 2 days and 6 hours of playtime in the Pantheon to get the full clear. It was that insane.
What's crazy is that the Caretaker was only the halfway point, but Snazzy was confident that the rest was going to be easy in comparison. Explicator was the most changed out of all of them for the Pantheon, while Golgoroth had a few enemy changes and some Minotaurs making it annoying for a full group to deal with, and Caretaker had ogres and bees. Explicator has fire tornadoes and a tormentor to deal with.
Solo Explicator seems pretty hectic upon first glance, and for good reason. You have to balance swapping planets by yourself while also dealing with tons of adds and colossus that respawn within a 3-minute time frame. Thankfully, Banner of War exists, making running much more manageable as it allows you to one-tap the colossus. After dunking the last mid-planet, you have about 25 seconds until damage starts. You use this time to put up a navigator point and get Worm God stacks. In the Pantheon version of the encounter, you have to deal with additional tornadoes during damage and running, as well as a Tormentor. The Tormentor despawns right as damage starts, so he's not too much of an issue. The real hurdle lies in the additional tornadoes that spawn during damage. This made it so I had to play it much safer and get out of the tornado as quick as possible. Thankfully, Root of Nightmare mods do work inside of Pantheon, which allowed me to use Release Recover, a raid mod that gives you restoration for swapping plates during damage. This made damage way more reasonable and allowed for a pretty swift clear.
Normally this encounter involves swapping planets around to get the light on one side, dark on the other. And while that is still true, managing all the correct swaps and getting it done in time while managing a room of enemies should be tough, right? Well, not for Snazzy, since he spent so much time here, and he uses the grapple grenade on a tether of strand so he can glide across the room at ease, making the long balance of memory just a little bit shorter. With all of this in mind, the method of damage did use the Root of Nightmare mods to heal after a tornado per plate. And for general damage, of course, he used more raid mods. This one still had some major issues though.
Okay then, yeah.
But ultimately, Snazzy was pretty quick on the solo, where I know most teams with 6 players still struggle.
Go! 3 out of 4 done! 1 more! Come on!
Now for the final test. And I know what you're thinking. Evan, this is only the first boss. We need to see solo of Oryx, Rolk, Riven, and Nezzy still. While I hear you, this is also the only Pantheon, for now, that can be soloed, as no method for Oryx and Rolk have been found. So with that in mind, we move into the finale, and probably my favorite solo in terms of funky mechanics and juggling of them all, Atraks 1.
The key to solo atraks is that you don't actually need the scanner buff at all. So you don't have to worry about juggling scanner and operator, you can just stay on operator the whole time. When Extinction Protocol begins, one of the 4 bosses will be real, which is normally where scanner comes in. But if you just shoot each boss one by one, only the real boss will cause the on-screen health bar to move. Because of this, we use the rocket sidearm and shoot each boss, eyeballing the health bar to see if it moves. If the health goes down, the boss we just shot is correct. If it doesn't go down, the boss is not correct. The rocket sidearm is good for this because it does a good chunk of damage, making it visually easier to identify when the health bar moves. The rest of the encounter is just managing getting up and down the elevator quickly to break the correct boss before it wipes, all the while disposing of replications into airlocks. We get the replications off our own heads by using ricochet rounds weapons. Atraks was pretty well unchanged for Pantheon. The added tormentors can be ignored for the most part, so the only difficulty on top of the normal solo became survivability and a harder damage check. But since it was Strand Surge, I didn't even bother trying Thunder Crash, which is what you normally use on Atraks if you're on Titan. I just went ahead with Worm Gods and Banner of War grapple melees. The main cause of wipes was not being able to break replications fast enough. On normal mode, you can use the rocket sidearm in a pinch to quickly break a replication from range to prevent a wipe, whereas on Pantheon, the rocket sidearm was doing a lot less damage, took a lot more shots to break a replication, and those extra shots is extra time, and in such a time-sensitive encounter, that can often mean the difference between breaking the replication in time or just wiping. Another small issue was that normally on the second round of damage on top floor, aka third floor of damage, I would use a pulse grenade to break the replication from range while I disposed of the replication from the previous floor. But since Strand Titan has no ranged ability damage like this, if I got bad RNG, it was basically just a wipe. Final Stand was funnily the easiest part of the solo. As long as I had 4 times Wormgod stacks, I could kill in a single replication. And the way Final Stand works is, the first time you damage Atraks in Final Stand, the health bar will actually flash. So instead of having to read with the sidearm and then swap to my shotgun for 1-2 punch, I can just be on my shotgun and scan each replication with the ricochet rounds auto rifle that I was using to get replications off my head. And yeah, once the health bar flashes, I know that's the boss, get my 4x worm gourds and kill the boss. Overall, it didn't take me that long to clear this encounter, and basically all the time was just learning the Strand Titan version, because it's a lot different to the Arc Titan version.
With that in mind, Snazzy had to just step up. And step up, he did. In Destiny's version of Let Me Solo Him, Snazzy ran over the Pantheon and took home world's first of the solo boss gauntlet. I guess Atraks is a her, right? Yeah, but he's not Let Me Solo Her. You know what? Just go with it.
Yes, dude! Yes! Let's go! Let's go! World's first solo full Pantheon! Let's go! Woo! Yes, dude! Let's go! Yes! What's good, homie? What is up? Let's go, dude! Let's go! Let's go, dude! Yes!
Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find all streams down below, as well as my own stream, which will have exclusive emblems every Tuesday for the Creator Pantheon event. And have a wonderful night.
You gotta just be kidding me right now, bro. My shotgun ricocheted off of Golgi and killed me, like, bro.